morning to you. It is Thursday, January 16th, just before 9 o'clock, and that means Virginia This Morning is loading as we speak. I'm Amy Lacey. Today, Bill Bevins and I are delighted to have you tuned in.
Amy Lacey and I are so proud to be your host for this one-of-a-kind show. We are here and ready to share a walk through another great hour of programming. Another frigid, cold overnight last night.
I know.
Did you go ice skating on the backyard? Or?
I did not go ice skating on the backyard, but I did go inside and promptly put on my jammies and get under a large blanket, and that is how I spent the rest of the night because it was just too cold.
Yeah, I had one of those days where I could not get warm.
Yeah.
You have those in there?
That is from about November until March for me. I'm always cold.
Yeah, so I don't know that I'm going to ever adjust to this, but I will say by the late afternoon, right before sunset, I was like, oh, okay, I feel a little better. Now, I still had like 5 layers of clothes on.
Of course you did, because
and
that's what you
the heat
have to
blasted
do.
in the car, but yeah, I was like, oh, okay, this isn't so bad.
But you know what? It's all about, like I always say, cold hands, warm heart. And that's what truly matters, right?
Okay. 64 days till spring.
Yeah.
But who's counting?
Nobody's counting for that. Well, we do have to say we have a big show coming up.
Big show.
Is Elvis in the building? He is at the Riverside Center for the Performing Arts.
Oh, there he is, okay.
Which kicks off the new year with the new production, Heartbreak Hotel. This fun musical features more than 40 Elvis hits like Hound Dog and Love Me Tender, just to name 2 of them. We will talk with Elliot Litherland, who stars as Elvis, along with the CEO and producing artistic director, Patrick Ahern. They are here in our building today, too. We can't wait to have
Elvis
that chat.
is in the building.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, folks, she is the owner of the Green Kitchen RVA, and we enjoy having her come into our Virginia This Morning kitchen all the time. Chef Tammy Brawley will share a kitchen hack on how you can break down chicken using a stand mixer.
Ooh. I've not used my KitchenAid for that just yet.
All right, and then once we learn how to do that, well, she's going to show us how to make a pot of homemade white chicken chili. It all sounds so good, and I bet it will be.
Delicious. And we enjoy staying connected to you, our valued friends and viewers of the show. If you encounter something fun or unique in your travels or even in your own backyard, capture the moment and send it our way. We do have something that will bring a smile to your face. It's part of our Everywhere You Are segment coming up, you know, just in case you're backyard ice skating or something.
Yeah. Speaking of backyard ice skating, now it's time to get a check on the local forecast with CBS 6 meteorologist Tom Patton.
I think that maybe ice skating is what's missing in the weather garden, Tom.
Oh, will it get you a little pond out there?
Yeah.
And you know you got the fountain, but you know it won't freeze with the fountain going.
Maybe we can do some pairs skating, Tom, some ice dancing.
Yes, we can work on our triple Lutz.
Yeah.
How about that?
Who'd you call a Lutz?
Well, triple Lutz, Bill.
Oh, okay.
Triple Lutz.
Okay, triple
I didn't
Lutz.
mention the single Lutz.
Okay.
All right. Let's, hey, by the way,
Yeah.
you guys are talking about, Bill, you couldn't get warm. I get it. And it seems to me now, I don't want to generalize every house in Central Virginia, but I know every house I've lived in has been so poorly insulated. I don't know why, who built them, what they were thinking, was it, you know, but every house is just, cold air is just pouring in everywhere. The floors are always cold, and I don't know, maybe we need to work on something like that, insulating some homes.
This message brought to you by Patton Insulation.
Yeah.
I do have to point out, though, that Tom talks about always being cold. You know, this time of year, you and I would have on large parkas outside. He has on a hoodie right there.
Here's why. This morning, I had a winter coat on.
Okay.
We had a low of 13 degrees here.
Yeah, I know we did, yes.
But we've warmed into the 20s,
Oh,
so
the
parka
20s.
came off. Now, I've got
break a sweat.
3 layers on still. Come on now.
Okay.
But you're right, the hoodie, because I've been running around a lot in between all this. So
And that
you know.
Patton insulation that you use
Yeah.
is underneath that. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Good point. All right, well, let's show you what it was like this morning. And I think this morning was one of the coldest I've had out here in quite some time. 13 was our low this morning. The winds were a lot lighter than the day before. Temperatures really plummeted. The air was very, very dry. We had dew points in single digits, and that allowed temperatures to just plummet. Not to mention, there's still a little snowpack in some areas. It was 12 this morning in Petersburg. It was 10 in West Point, 5 out in the valley for Stanton. So it was a cold start today, but right now, look at this. We're up to 24 degrees. Yeah, right? The good thing, Winds are out of the south at 5 miles an hour. And the dew point has come up, so we're getting a little more humidity. That should make you start to feel a little better. I know the dry air is really rough on a lot of folks. It makes you look old. I say all these things, and they are true. South winds ahead of this little clipper up to the north will help boost our temperatures a little bit today, probably into that 40 range at least. Mid-20s now, so everybody's up a good 10, 12 degrees from their overnight low temperatures. We'll go about 42, mostly cloudy, breezy. I think a few flurries are flying around. Some folks could see a sprinkle or a couple of flurries here during the day until this clipper system way up north kind of passes us. But in the meantime, a lot of clouds, clearing maybe even by this afternoon. The radar is showing a couple returns. The air is very dry though, so that's why we're thinking maybe just a few flurries scattered around the area. The main energy is way up north. And clippers are quick. That's why they're called clippers. They come out of Canada. Sometimes they dive further south, and we'll get maybe a light accumulation of snow. Some areas are seeing that, mainly in Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, some of those spots. But I think later by this afternoon, we'll start to see it kind of clear out as that energy moves quickly over. Clearing then overnight, and tomorrow skies will become mostly sunny. And tomorrow should be a pretty mild day. We'll be into the 40s, still below average, but into the 40s. Clouds come back Friday night into Saturday, and then Saturday we'll probably get some rain showers, mainly during about the first half of the day. And then we'll have another system Sunday. Sunday could start out as a little rain or mix, and then probably seeing some wet snow, especially as we go into the midday and afternoon. And temperatures will likely be above freezing for a good portion of this, but it may come down enough to get a little accumulation going. So maybe an inch or two of snow in some areas out of that near the metro. We'll see. It's really going to depend on temperatures and timing. Cold air is going to come in, and even colder than this morning. The first 3 or 4 days of next week will be very, very cold. And I know we say that all the time, very cold, but I think with overnight lows about 11, that means there'll be a lot of single digits to wake up to next week. Virginia This Morning will continue right after this.
All right, happy Thursday to you. Welcome to Virginia This Morning, live on CBS 6. I'm Bill Devins. Amy Lacey and I are excited to be on the show and share this hour with you.
That is to say the least. We're going to have a great morning. Thank you for allowing us into your homes each weekday morning. We enjoy this one-of-a-kind local infotainment show, and we hope that you do the same. We have a big show coming up today, including Elvis is in the building. How many people can say that?
You. That's
I can say that, and that is the power that I have today.
Without people going like, sure he is. Okay. Yeah, so that's going to happen. Now's the time that we get to kind of a little chat a little bit. Before we get into the show, we're talking about the cold weather, obviously, and then I was complaining, you were talking, and then Tom comes along and said, even colder next week.
Yeah.
He didn't get the hint at all.
I know, it's time to turn up the thermostat, not do this to us. But what did you say, 64 days until spring? We're just going to keep counting down here. We can be the countdown clock until the, is it the equinox in the spring? Yeah, I think so.
Need Tom back, but yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, we're going to go with equinox.
Yeah,
I think
whatever,
if
that makes it warmer, then we're for it.
We're going to do it, but looking forward to maybe planning a trip to, I don't know, Florida or
someplace
something
warm.
coming up. Yeah, I'm needing it right around this time of January. It gets to be kind of
White sand, blue water.
Let's do it.
Sounds good. All right, now's the time that we're actually going to share something real. We'll share a recap of some of the features that are going to show up on our show today.
Okay, I talked about this, known as the king of rock and roll. Elvis Presley's legacy continues to live on 48 years after his death. Riverside Center for the Performing Arts has the musical Heartbreak Hotel on the stage in Fredericksburg. Patrick Ahern is here along with Elliot Litherland, who stars as Elvis. We will talk with him about what it's like to play a musical icon.
And yeah, that's going to be great. And Chef Tammy Brawley has a kitchen hack to share a recipe. We can't wait to try her white chicken chili that's still to come on our live show.
Okay, so today's going to get really spicy for a lot of people. If we don't have heat outside, maybe eat some spice and get a little hotter. It's International Hot and Spicy Food Day, and we do have some trivia for you to go along with it. Okay, so try to name the 3 states that have the spiciest food. Any ideas?
Louisiana.
Okay. See what you do to me with the word game each Wednesday. Now's your chance, huh?
Louisiana, Texas.
Okay.
And no?
Well, I'm not going to tell you yet. Just say one more.
California.
Okay. Well, this is the list.
Okay.
Louisiana, Texas, you were right with those 2.
Yeah.
Also, New Mexico.
Okay.
So that is the trivia of the day. Do you have any favorite spicy foods? I know you're not a big spice person, though.
I actually do like spicy.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I can't get super hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do like it.
Anything in particular?
I like Indian food.
Well, that's what I was going to say, too.
Yeah.
If I do add a little heat, it's Indian food or Thai food. Very, very good to, you know, on the...
Well, I didn't wear a tie today.
On the menu, they have the little chili pepper that you can pick your level of heat. So
Yeah.
I've gone up to a 3 before, so
Yeah,
living dangerously.
You know, Greg McQuaid from Over News, he used to do this show.
Yeah.
He could just down a bottle of Tabasco sauce
do
or
that. Nope.
Texas Pete or something. Just cook.
Nope.
Are you from this planet?
Yeah, I don't have that going on.
Yeah.
Well, we are just getting started here, and we have a great show lined up for you to enjoy.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in less than 3 minutes. Welcome back. It's time to enjoy our Everywhere You Are segment. We get a chance to see what you've been up to.
Today's theme is kids. Snow with a connection to Virginia this morning. Mr. B, what's coming up first?
CBS 6 traffic reporter and Virginia This Morning contributor Kristen Loers had some fun in the snow with her kids, Hennessy and Austin. It looks like they had actually a lot of fun.
They are super, super cute. We love having them here in our VTM family. And we do keep it all in the Virginia This Morning family. Next up is Andrea Swaite Murdagh's submission. Her sons David and Dion had a chance to enjoy the snow too. Little Dion had a little difficulty keeping his balance in his snowsuit.
This is hilarious.
Help him, David.
Dad is crying.
Help him up.
Because your mama put too much clothes on him.
Help him by his hand, David. Let's help pull him up.
Stand up, Dion. Pull him up, David.
Okay.
Oh! Man down.
Help me.
Come on.
When you have all the layers on and you're zipped up, it can be very, very hard to stay.
I have a feeling Dion and I are going to have a lot in common when we think of snow.
There you
Not a big
go.
fan.
I mean, he's not a fan of it too.
All right. That, I think, was his first time in the snow. We have Andrea's next time, and we can't wait to talk to her when we see it.
You will have to ask her. Now here's your open invitation to send us. Oh, there you are.
there she is. Oh, hey. We didn't know you were going to be live.
Surprise.
So that was so much fun. Thanks for sharing that.
Oh my gosh, a few too many layers on Dion. He had the full snowsuit,
You're such a good mom.
And then I wanted to make sure he wasn't going to get cold, but he had a little bit of a hard time. So if you look at the other pictures, he looks too through with the rest of the family.
Yeah.
Like, you've pummeled me into the snow. You barely got me down the stairs. Is this what fun looks like? Because I'm not sure about it.
And it's cold.
Well, you know, in
it's
typical older brother fashion too, I saw the assistance, but it was with the head a little bit. You know, he wanted to help, but it wasn't quite how Mama would want it to be.
That's right. It only took us an hour to get out of the house to play.
He was burning up
By the time
inside
we got
that
everyone
thing
dressed
and
up.
couldn't keep his balance. And I did notice that Dad picked him up by the jacket. There you go. That was one of those shots.
He's like, come on, guys, come on. But I will say we had the most perfect snow. I don't know if they have the picture, but we made a big, huge snowman. He was probably 6 feet tall.
Fun.
And I ran to the house, got a scarf. When I turned the scarf over on the snowman, it said CBS 6. So we have made the official CBS 6 snowman.
The mascot. That's what we need for this winter to get through these cold, cold months, these days.
That's right. But I've had my fix. So we've had our snow day. We've done it. We've worn the snowsuit.
Can we have spring
I'm good.
now? Yeah.
We're all good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Us too.
counting down.
Let's have spring now. Or we can superimpose our faces on the snowman for the opening for the show.
That'd be a lot of fun. I think we need
That's
to do
an
that.
idea.
Let's do it.
That's an idea. You can be the official Virginia This Morning snowman.
There we go.
We can make that happen.
All right.
And we can invite
Thank you for sharing that,
others to
Andreas.
do the same.
Those
much
boys
fun.
were adorable.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Andreas.
letting me crash the EYA party. You
We
know,
didn't
EYA,
know, but
everywhere
it's
you
so
are
good to
is
have
my-
you. Yay!
All right, folks, if you want to crash our party, here's an open invitation to send us some of your fun moments.
All you have to do is send us a high-resolution image or video and upload it to one of our social media channels or email us. So easy to do. We will take care of the rest. Just go to virginiathismorning.com.
All right, before we put our scarves on, we're going to take a break. And here's Amy's recent conversation with the owner of a Medicare insurance agency.
This segment is sponsored by Active Medicare Solutions.
Active Medicare Solutions offers a wide array of services and options for those seeking Medicare coverage. Craig Rasmussen, founder and owner of Active Medicare Solutions, joins us to share more. Welcome back.
Hey, it's great to be back.
Will you remind everyone what Active Medicare Solutions is?
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm the owner of Active Medicare Solutions. We are a full-service Medicare-focused insurance agency located right here in Henrico. We have offices in Richmond, Colonial Heights, and Mineral, and we work with people that are getting ready to turn 65. They have so many questions about Medicare, whether they need it. We help them find the plan that makes the most sense for them, and then we provide them service moving forward. So we really work with people that are, getting ready to go on Medicare or are currently on Medicare looking for different options.
The last time we spoke with you, it was about open enrollment. It was a busy time.
Yes.
That season is now over. Are you still busy?
Absolutely, yes. So open enrollment was very busy this year. As many people out there, if you hadn't looked at your changes, they're now finding out what their changes are. So it is a big year. And even if you find out that things aren't the way they were last year, you can still give us a call. But yeah, there's 11,000 people a day going on Medicare right now. And most people are getting bombarded with the phone calls and they see all the TV ads, so they're made aware that Medicare is out there. But yeah, so we are constantly busy helping people make those tough decisions on whether or not they need to enroll, helping them find the plan that makes the most sense for them, and providing them service. And so many people like that face-to-face, that local interaction.
What is it about this work, this business that you like?
Yeah, the thing I like about this business, honestly, is growing up, I was kind of a grandma's boy. My grandma lived right next door to me until she passed away, so we were able to help care for her. So I just kind of find it a duty. That's why I'm also a certified senior advisor. I see so many people getting bombarded with so many sales, and the phone calls and the trickery. So I'm just kind of an advocate for seniors. So I'm in it to really help seniors make good choices, making sure they get the right choices that work best for them. There's obviously choices that work better for me. There's some products that pay agents more, and it's not too hard to figure out what those are just by looking at the commercials and stuff. So we like to really add value. We really feel like we add value to people's lives, and that is what I like about this business.
With so many choices, what is the process that you use to help folks who are approaching that Medicare age and to get them ready for it?
Yeah, so when someone's getting ready to turn 65, I always recommend, maybe 6 months in advance, you just kind of start the process so there's no surprises. But the first step really is to decide whether or not someone even needs to go on Medicare. There's a lot of people out there that are turning 65 that work for companies with more than 20 employees, and they don't have to apply for A or B. So the first step is really deciding whether or not they need Medicare, and then the second step is really helping them apply for Medicare, because there's different ways to apply depending on your situation. And then the third step is deciding whether or not you're a Medicare supplement or a Medicare Advantage person. So those are the kind of the steps we take.
You just said that. What is the difference between Medicare Advantage plan and a supplement plan?
Yeah, and that is an important decision, because sometimes the decision you make initially, you can't change plans. And we won't go into all that because of time, but a supplement is where Medicare remains your primary insurance, and then you purchase a secondary insurance, such as a Plan F or a Plan G. And then, of course, you have to have a drug plan. So you have 3 cards. You can go anywhere that accepts Medicare, and you have very limited bills when you get there. And there's a lot of people that want to pay a premium to know they can go anywhere they want and have very little bills when they get there. Advantage plans, they work great too. They work more like work insurance. It's where the government outsources your care to a private carrier. Therefore, you have to have A and B, but Medicare is not your insurance. The Advantage plan's your insurance. It's a private carrier. It's one card. It works like work insurance. It typically has 0 premium because the government's paying the premium, but you have networks and co-payments. So it's pay now, go where you want, or pay later and go where they accept your insurance.
You touched upon this briefly, but why work with someone local like yourself instead of calling one of the 1-800 numbers?
Yes, I mean, there's so many reasons, but the main reason is, for one, our services don't cost a thing. 2, we're local, so we know the local market, and we're not just with one carrier, right? If you talk to someone that works for a carrier, guess what? That carrier is going to be the best carrier. When you work with someone on the phone, you have no idea who they are. They have a lot of pressure on them to sell something. We're not selling things. We know when people come to us, they're going to get something because they need it. So working with someone local and service is huge. Signing up for a plan, first you want to make sure you're signing up for the right plan, but signing up for the plan is the easy part. It's when you have questions about bills and if your plan changes and you want to do a review annually. So it's really about the knowledge, the service, the cost, and then moving forward, knowing your choices. So there's so many reasons.
It is always great to sit down with you, Craig, because you are the man. You have all those answers. Thank you for coming to Virginia this morning and for helping our community.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you for having me.
Active Medicare Solutions is located at 110573 Chopped Road in Henrico County. For more information, give them a call at 804-874-6000 or visit the website activemedicaresolutions.com. You can connect with them on social media as well. Stay with us. Virginia This Morning returns after the break. Welcome back. It is time to dust off your blue suede shoes and head to the Riverside Center for the Performing Arts in Fredericksburg. Their new musical, Heartbreak Hotel, features more than 40 classic Elvis Presley hits.
Absolutely. Joining us this morning, Patrick Ahern, the CEO and producing artistic director, along with Elliot Litherland, who stars as the king of rock and roll. Thank you for coming in. Good to have you guys.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So, playing probably at one point in time the most famous human on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
No pressure there.
No pressure.
And have you always been involved in music? Is that your thing? Or
Yeah.
was acting first, then music? Or music
I think it was music, then it was acting. I sung, my older sister sang, my grandmother sang. So, you know, did choir and all that stuff in school, and then started doing theater. And pretty lucky to be here. Elvis came into it, which is nice. This is my third time doing an Elvis musical.
Well, I mean, you know,
yeah, it's nice. The dark hair, the blue eyes, it does help. I appreciate him for many things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you like Elvis before you became Elvis?
Yeah, I certainly from afar. I love my folks. Elvis was not in the house growing up much.
Okay.
It was a lot of Christian music growing up.
You told me it was suburban.
Was
Chicago.
suburban.
Yes, which
Suburban.
honestly, the show addresses, which is Elvis kind of grew up singing church music too,
Okay.
which is nice. So I can't say that Elvis was my main music diet before doing some of it, but have been so happy to dig in the past, what was the first one, 5 or 6 years, and yeah, I mean, the music sticks.
Yes,
if you
it
come
does.
see this show, forgive me for talking about music of today, but this music sticks around. We're 60, 70 years out from some of these songs, and
everybody knows it.
Everybody knows it. Yeah. Looking out during bows, sing along during bows, everybody do it. And like seeing people truly singing along, jamming, clapping, like there's nothing like it. It's really special.
Patrick, you guys have done so many shows, and we were talking before we came on camera that I just saw the lady you brought in. I think it was the last time you were here that you brought in.
Yeah.
On a Netflix or Amazon Prime show last night.
Yeah, Man on the Inside.
Yes.
With Ted Danson. The wonderful Sally Struthers.
Oh, she's great. We loved having her here.
You know, you guys do such a great job up there with putting on shows that people absolutely love.
Yeah.
And that's got to be so rewarding because it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I was talking to Elliot earlier. I've been here over 14 years now, and it was my mission to bring quality theater to this area, to Fredericksburg and Stafford County, Northern Virginia, as far south as Richmond. And I think we've accomplished that.
I think you have.
With a variety of things that we do, speaking of Sally Struthers and now Elliot Litherland here to do Elvis, many things, a variety of things, and top-notch things with incredible music and some of the plays that we have done. We're getting ready to do To Kill a Mockingbird in May. Nice. So, the entire team at Riverside, I can't say enough about. You know, a lot of times when you're the face of the theater, you obviously get the credit, but I can't take all the credit. I don't even want to take a fourth of it. I'm the visionary. We put a wonderful team together, and we do it. And this show right now, Heartbreak Hotel, is fabulous. I mean, it's just a lot of fun, and it's great storytelling too. A lot of the jukebox musicals, you know, focus on the music, but this one gets stuff in there that I didn't even know about Elvis. So it's
childhood Elvis.
It's informative. Say that again.
Childhood Elvis.
Well, and this is the great thing about the show, and I think you'll agree with me.
Yeah.
We've got child Elvis. We've got teen Elvis.
Okay.
This young man, Luke Purcell from Louisa. Just came into auditions and blew us away, and then Elliot takes over, and it's really, really great. Yeah.
What is your favorite phase of Elvis that you get to play? Are you the Vegas Elvis?
Well, so you'll see, and we'll talk. I do think to the jukebox musical and this truly being a story-focused show, we do get like a lot of the numbers, and we get to like have fun. But this show does kind of tell, like, unfortunately, we don't have him anymore, right? Like, and there's this whole era of Elvis that we're missing, right? Like Tony Bennett was doing duets with Gaga. Like Dick Van Dyke is still around. Like we could still have Elvis. We don't know what he'd be doing these days.
He works at the Burger King.
Yeah. So there is some of the more complicated stuff in Act 2 showing this is not a perfect man. So we're here to like celebrate him, but like you said, there is a bit of a story throughout, telling the whole story. But like, come on, to do the numbers at the end, like to sing Jailhouse Rock in front of a crowd of people rocking, like it doesn't get better than that.
That has to be a pretty amazing experience, just to feel that energy coming back at you from everyone else.
We're out of time. I've showed tremendous restraint, but I've got to say, well, thank you.
There it is.
Appreciate y'all coming in.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. All right, folks, we do always appreciate hearing from Fredericksburg, and we are so excited about getting to see this show. And it's got a pretty long run, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're going to pop up the information for you on the screen. Riverside Center for the Performing Arts presents Heartbreak Hotel. It's on the stage now through March 2nd, so you still have plenty of time to catch it. The theater is located at 95 Riverside Parkway in Fredericksburg. For more information, including a complete schedule and ticket details, visit virginiathismorning.com.
And Virginia This Morning returns right after a quick break. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out with us today. You don't have to be a gourmet chef to appreciate a kitchen hack. No matter what your culinary skill level is, it is so helpful to have some shortcuts. We all need those. Today, personal chef Tammy Brawley, owner of the Green Kitchen RVA, is here to show us her hack to break down chicken. And then we're going to take a break, and she will put together a flavorful pot of white chicken chili. Sounds delicious. Hey, Tammy.
Hey, Amy. Thanks for having me again.
It is so good to have you here because this is something that I've never heard of before, but it sounds like it's pretty easy.
It is pretty easy, and you know, I love it when people call them hacks or shortcuts, but you know what? I call it work smarter, not harder.
That's right.
So I think it's a great way to do it. Actually, as usual, we're going to have you a couple of hacks today. We've got about a 3-pound package of rotisserie chicken.
Okay.
It's already cooked. Costco packages it up, not to push Costco, but it's a decent price for what you get for the amount, almost 3 pounds. So it comes completely cooked, and I like this hack that I'm going to show you is how to break down these very large pieces using a KitchenAid mixer.
Okay, I'm just going to move your microphone a little bit. I hear maybe it's bumping, so I want to make sure everybody can hear your hack.
Well, considering that this is about 3 pounds, I'm actually just going to cut right through and give myself about 1/3 of a pound.
Okay.
Or 1/3 of 3 pounds, I should say. So 1 pound of chicken. And then I'm just going to walk over to the KitchenAid mixer. You can see these large chunks. The great thing, a second hack, is the fact these are cooked. This is cooked chicken.
It's so great to have that on hand.
Exactly, especially when you get home from work. You can make this recipe that we're going to do in the next spot. You can make this in a matter of moments. It doesn't take long at all. And my son actually discovered this hack. I'd love to say it's mine, but it's not. There was a video out there somewhere, I guess you want to say TikTok or Facebook.
Yeah, one of those.
And it was a blind gentleman who started using a KitchenAid mixer to break down chicken. Wow. And so now my son, who cooks with me every week, we do this for these whole chickens.
That's
and
fantastic.
It's absolutely great. What we have is we've got the KitchenAid mixer, and we actually have the dough hook attachment.
Yep, I never use the dough hook. This gives me reason to get it out.
Absolutely. So we put the chicken in the bottom of the pan, or bottom of the bowl, excuse me. And you can turn it up a little bit, and it moves it around. And you can give it a little bit more speed as you go along. I don't want to splatter you.
Oh, it's fine.
Sometimes you want to get in because it will come to the side of the bowl. Obviously, you want to turn the mixer off. And then break it up again. Sometimes the moisture of the chicken will stick to it. And it's breaking it up into smaller pieces for us. You wouldn't want to put the entire 3 pounds of chicken in here because it would be far too much. But it does break it up. You know, I tell you it's going to break it up, but it seems to be...
Like anything else, sometimes, you know, just like kids and animals, you don't know what they're going to do on TV, so KitchenAid mixers too.
This is actually pretty great. And if it doesn't break it up enough for you, you can certainly put it back on the cutting board. But it usually does break it up quite well.
Just slowly put it in, like, you know.
If you want to add more,
yeah.
Like the recipe that we're using actually only calls for a pound of chicken.
Okay.
So that's why I did 1/3 of a pound there. Normally it does break it up quite a bit more than this. I think it's because there is some moisture in that package. So I'm just going to still move this around a little bit.
Little secret too about the studio, it's always cold in here, so maybe that has something to do with it too. It's like we're in a refrigerator.
It does keep me awake though, that's for sure.
That's right.
There we go. Maybe turn the speed up a little bit. It's great.
It's so nice though because you can be doing this while you're doing something else. You can be chopping up the vegetables or the herbs.
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite things about having a pan mixer is you can do other things while this is running.
It's a time saver for everything else.
It's definitely a time saver. You can say, oh, I don't have a big mixer, I've got a pan mixer. Just tie your hand to what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So you want to make sure it's nice and turned off.
And then I'm sure you can use your hand too, just
Definitely
to break
use
up
your hand a little
anything
bit,
left.
but anything, if you want to look at, say, these bigger pieces that are still in the package, and then what you look in the package, or excuse me, in the bowl, we've definitely got smaller, more broken down pieces. So it makes it a lot easier. I think with more volume, it would probably break it down just a little bit quicker. You could also, if you really wanted to, you could take the chicken out, had it obviously here at the house before you put it in the mixer. But it's still, it is a time saver, and you're putting it all on the cutting board and chop, while you need to do it.
Yeah, so like you said, that you could put together a meal very, very quickly.
Very easy.
You can set that, turn it on, and do everything else that you need to do, and then bring it all together in just minutes.
I love it because, you know, as I said earlier, work smarter, not hard, or work, not harder. And so you buy chicken that's already pre-cooked, put it into the mixer, and then you can actually put this chili recipe together in less than 10 minutes. So that's what we'll do next.
And we can keep this in the refrigerator too, and you can make a lot of different things out of that.
Absolutely.
That's a hack in itself, all that you can do with rotisserie chicken.
Absolutely, and the fact that it's already cooked and I don't have to take that step. So
That is wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing your hack, and then we're going to do some other great things here in the kitchen. Chef Tammy's going to reset and get her white chicken chili on the stove for us. But first, we do want to send it over to Mr. B, but I know you're going to come over here when we're doing that because yum, that sounds so great.
Yeah, once the cooking starts, of
Yeah.
course. All right, folks, if you can't watch our live show and want to stay up to date with our segments, you can visit virginiathismorning.com anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are other options, too, such as viewing on one of our apps, or one of these apps, actually, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Android TV channels. If you need the app, just visit the App Store on your device and search WTVR Richmond. It's absolutely free. We want to share some information with you. CBS 6 is proud to once again partner with Virginia Union University, present the 47th annual Martin Luther King Jr. Community Leaders Celebration. It's coming up tomorrow, Friday, January 17th, beginning at 7:30 a.m. at the downtown Richmond Marriott, 500 East Broad Street in Richmond. This is always a great event, but if you are unable to attend, make plans to watch this special presentation coming up tomorrow at 2 p.m. right here on CBS 6. Please stay tuned. We will be right back.
Welcome back.
There it goes.
Before the break, Chef Tammy Brawley showcased her kitchen hack on how you can break down chicken using a stand mixer. If you missed it, we will post it on our show website later today at virginiathismorning.com. We've been working to get this cooktop going.
I think it's helpful if we can get the cooktop going.
I think
Tammy did just as we came back. It's time now to get the main course started. Now that the cooktop's working.
This won't take very long. We're
White
good.
chicken chili's on the menu.
Yum, what a great meal for a cold day.
Absolutely, and Lord knows we've had enough of these cold temperatures here lately. I don't know if I've ever remembered snow staying on the ground this long.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's been a long time.
Crazy. So yes, this is a great recipe to do, and you can really put this together in a matter of minutes, especially if the chicken's already cooked, which is what we talked about a moment ago, using pre-cooked rotisserie chicken that we broke up in the KitchenAid mixer. I've got a burner here that's warming up in a pot, and another little trick that I love to do is have olive oil in a squirt bottle.
What a great idea.
And then just squirt it on the bottom of the pan.
I've never thought to do that.
I love doing this trick.
This is the first time we've seen that.
This is a really easy way to not have much of a mess and not have to worry about lids and open it and things like that.
You could have come back and done a whole nother kitchen hack segment.
I've got lots of little work smarter, not harder. I really do.
Go.
This is warming up. It's not quite as warm as I would like, but that's okay. We can let that go for a minute. I'm going to just chop up a little bit of onion for this particular recipe. We start with the onion.
And again, flat side down makes us
always
so much easier.
If you want to talk about another hack, I love it. You want to you cut the cores off of the onions and then you cut it in half, and then you've given yourself something safe to work with. I don't even peel it until I get it cut in half.
Okay.
So then this was a half that I had left over, and then we do straight slices this way, and then you're going to hold it together, and then we're just going to angle your knife.
So it gives you
Now, what I love
it. Tears begin.
Well, there's another hack. But what I love about doing an onion that way is that you get nice, uniform, diced pieces, and it's not working all over your board, and I'm not taking more time yet to cut the onion and work all over the place. But you can put 10 different chefs in the room and get 10 different ways to cut an onion. You really can. This is my way of doing it, and I love it. You know, you talked about, you just said, well, let the tears begin. I tried this recently and actually put this hack on my website. When you cut an onion and peel it, what happens is you're releasing the gases of the onion, and the places that those gases want to go require moisture, hence your eyes. So that's the first place that the gases will go. If you have a wet rag on your board at the same time, it will go to the rag instead of
not
your eyes. And
very nice.
It works, folks. It really does work. Now that's a fresh onion that you will have just peeled. This was already peeled, so it's really not any gases coming off of that. But that is a great little trick. So might not be hot enough, but we can still toss these in here while it's warming up. No, I think it's working though.
It's on wide open. Yeah.
It's cold too because it's frigid outside.
Isn't it the truth? And I can't believe Tom was out there in a hoodie. That is like, God. All right, so we've got some nice diced onion in there. We're going to start with that. What I like about some recipes, you know, they tell you to add this before you add this and add this before you add that. I actually tend to maybe do everything all at once because I'm going to let it simmer anyway.
Yep.
And it doesn't need to simmer that long because we are working with cooked chicken and we're working actually with canned beans today. So this particular recipe starts out with chopped onion, and then I've got diced chilies that you typically get in your international section of your grocery store.
So those are already done too.
These are already done too.
So would you let the onions caramelize? Are they a little bit?
Given, yes, you really should let them somewhat soften. But again, one, we're going to be simmering the chili. And the other is that the burner, unfortunately, was not as hot as it needed to have been. But that's okay. We'll make this work anyway. So I've got the diced chilies, I have got the diced onion in there, and now I'm going to add my spices. I have some cumin here, I have some dried oregano and some cayenne pepper. Anytime you want to use herbs, a dried herb would be half as much as a fresh herb, okay, because it's concentrated. So the recipe that you'll see today does call for oregano, and it does say fresh, but you can half that amount for a dried herb, okay? So we're going to add the cumin and the oregano and a little bit of cayenne pepper. Obviously, how much cayenne pepper would be up to you guys. I love it spicy, so I'm probably going to add a little bit more when it comes to me. Exactly.
Today is Spicy Food Day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
As I mentioned earlier in the show, so
I thought, well, Spicy Food Day for me is pretty much every day. Now, I do have some fresh cilantro here, so and we keep that in the refrigerator already chopped up. And in this case, we're going to do about a tablespoon. If it were dried, I would cut that amount in half like I did the oregano. So now we've got some cilantro in here and our spices. And it is warming up, guys, but it just seems to be taking a minute, so that's all right. You should be able to start.
We see some heat coming.
A little heat coming off, little smell soon. I also go in with just a little bit of salt and pepper.
Can't ever go wrong with salt and pepper.
Well, you know, salt is what you need. It really does. And the rule of thumb is technically about half as much pepper as salt, depending on what it is that you're making. So now we've got our vegetables somewhat softening here. And we're going to come in and we're going to add a can of cannellini beans. Beans do not matter as far as what you want to put in there. It's your choice. Some people use the white beans, the northern beans, navy beans. It's really up to you. I personally love a cannellini bean because it's a little thicker, a little bit heartier when you bite into it for the chili.
You went in there with the juice and everything?
Exactly. It is not drained, and that actually helps thicken the chili. To not drain it. Now, you could drain them if you wanted to rinse off some of the starch and the thickness and everything. There you go, Bill. Get to work.
Bean juice
Get to work.
helps thicken. I hadn't heard that before.
It's the starch of the beans, and that's what helps thicken it. And so basically what we've done now is we've created a nice little flavor base of the onions and the spices and the beans, and now we're going to come in and we're going to add we're going to let that go for just a second, but we are going to go ahead and add that chicken that we started with. Already cooked chicken. So there's probably still some nice big chunks in here, but that's okay. That'll just be a bigger.
Nobody's going to complain if
it's a bigger bite for everybody, right? And this is about a pound of chicken.
Oh, that looks great.
Mixed in there, and we might even have a little bit more chicken than we need, but that's okay. Now the recipe itself is going to call for a cup of stock, and I did use chicken stock. And then you're going to judge it. You know, I can look at this right now and tell you that that's not enough broth. Okay, so I keep it handy, and I want to add more. Once again, it's kind of up to your taste is what you would like.
Yeah, you kind of want to swim in a little bit.
A little bit. You want some moisture there. You really do.
That looks so good.
It is delicious, and I know that we're
color in there too.
I love this flavor. I just made this for my daughter and son-in-law last week, and we sat down and had it for dinner.
A new grandson.
Congratulations.
We're going to do a 2-hour show. She's going to tell us all about it.
I'm going to bring him in. I'm going to bring him in.
He'd be the sous chef.
He is absolutely adorable. We unfortunately went to the doctor this morning for a cold, and he is at 15.13 pounds, 15 pounds, 13 ounces. 3 months old, and he's already
that is the perfect
somebody's
little
been making him good food.
Well, I tell you what, he's not at the solid food stage yet, but you can bet when it comes time, it is.
He's going to be eating good.
I will be making that boy his food for sure.
Yeah.
So. Well, guys, this is going to take a few minutes, and when we come back, I think from that break, we're going to get some tasting going on.
All right, it is smelling and looking great, and we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to sample this delicious bean chicken chili.
White chicken chili.
We can't wait to do it. In the meantime, if you want more information on the services that Chef Tammy provides at the Green Kitchen RVA, just visit our show website by early this afternoon. That's virginiathismorning.com. We'll be right back. Thanks for coming back from the commercial break. We are featuring Chef Tammy Brawley's white chicken chili recipe. We have our spoons ready to go.
I see that. I see that. That's awesome.
It smells fantastic in here, Tammy.
It is a great recipe.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good. And now it's time to sample it, which is
right. And normally I would love to put it into a pretty bowl, but since you guys have your spoons kind of anxious there, I'm going to just give you a little sample here in a cup.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a cup of soup.
That's more for the rest of
And 1 second, let me garnish a little bit for you
if you
as well.
gave me that big cup,
nobody else would be able to take a bite, right?
That's right.
It's great to hit it with a little bit of Monterey Jack cheese. Okay,
more cheese,
little
please.
garnish. And then I actually do like to come back and add some chopped green onions as well.
Nice.
Loaded
Little
up.
color, and
beautiful.
Onions are healthy for you guys. And I'll give you each your cup to taste.
All right.
I love it.
While we're eating, Chef Tammy, I love learning about people. And we had Elvis on the show, an Elvis performer a little bit earlier. You told me that was your first concert ever.
My mother took me, I grew up in Greensboro, North Carolina, and my mother took me to see Elvis at the Greensboro Coliseum in 1975. I was 14 years old. I actually have, you guys are going to love this, I have the Instamatic pictures still in my memory box.
Oh, wow.
And now you can't really tell it because it's so far away, but I looked like the girls at the airport when the Beatles came. I stood there and cried and was screaming. He was an incredible performer. Even he had just started kind of getting a little large and throwing out scarves and stuff like that, but he was still so energetic and so amazing. But the very first entertainer I ever saw in person.
You did an amazing job. We had technical problems, but you came through it like a pro.
Well, we're gonna eat no matter what.
All our guests today, and we of course featured Chef Tammy Brawley, Patrick Ahern, and Elliot Linderland from the Riverside Center for the Performing Arts. Patrick was Elvis. Active Medicare Solutions, Andrea's wife Murdahl with her surprise, and we had a good time.
Of course, we couldn't do this without you.